Howdy. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Karina. My sister's in the house. Thank you. MoFam, thank you so much for your daily. I appreciate you. So, Wonderful Abroad, if you want to come up. Okay, there she is.
Okay.
Hey
Hola,
there, how's it going?
buenos días.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Hola. Estoy bien, ¿y tú?
Très bien. Oh, I don't put the French in there.
You're fine, no pasa nada, está bien.
Bien.
I always
Bien.
speak a lot of Spanish now because I lived in Mexico prior to Spain, so I'm just so immersed in like just speaking Spanish. I just became really fully integrated.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
So, are you okay to come on the big screen?
Yeah, perfect.
Oh, fantastic. All right, let me just go ahead and put you on there.
Perfect. Hi.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for the 11 people in the group chat right now. We're gonna wait because I just started the live, so we're waiting for people to trickle on in. So I figured we could just go ahead and start.
Perfect.
So if you want to just go ahead and start with the introduction, that would be great.
Definitely. So my name is Nicole. I'm 34 years old. I don't look my age at all because traveling really helped me slow down my aging. There's no doubt about it, you know? I'm telling you.
I can't wait.
When you start like, traveling like on a budget, I've done couch surfing. So I'm just really big into like traveling like on a budget. And I feel like since traveling gives you like so much life and learning languages and cultures and putting yourself out there and having an open mind, it really like slows down the aging. Like my mom's 67 and my mom's from Poland. So the thing about me, my mom's from Poland, lived in Germany, then like lives in Chicago for a long time. So I followed my mother's footsteps, and my grandmother, for example, was like from Poland too. She died many years ago and then moved to the States. So in my family, we're really big on like immigration, moving to different countries, because in Europe as a whole, it's very easy when it comes on Erasmus. Erasmus is like a study abroad like program we have like in the States, along with like, working abroad, people getting married, etc. There's a lot of different options out there for sure. Definitely.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you moved abroad. So do you want to talk about how long you've lived abroad, or
definitely.
specifically Spain?
Yeah, for sure. So about me, so at 27 years old, actually it's wild. I have an amazing story, which is super wild. It was all actually meant to happen.
Right.
So the thing is, at 26 years old, I was engaged to a Polish guy. Go figure. My family's from Poland, right? There you go. So go figure. Yeah, I was actually engaged. And I actually went to visit my brother in Barcelona. So I went to Barcelona for 1 week, and I went to Madrid. And then I came back to Chicago, and I said, I am not going to get married to him. I am not going to stay in the United States, America. I'm leaving. 8 months later, prior to that, I broke with my ex fiance. I quit my job. I worked 3 like part-time jobs. 1 as a banquet server, 2 as a brand ambassador, so promoting brands at different events in Chicago. And then number 3, I was like a DoorDash driver. So I saved $3,000, and I bought a one-way ticket from Chiang Mai to Chicago, and I was working as an English teacher. So I lived there for 8 or 9 months during COVID, and I had to go back to Chicago because, thank you. Thank you, Monica. I had to go back to Chicago because, it was COVID, but I said, fuck no, I'm not going to go back to Chicago. So I went back to Chicago for a bit. I worked as an au pair, and within 8 months, I left and I moved to South Korea during COVID. And the rest is history at that point, because I never let fear or like that kind of fear of the unknown ever stop me. Our life is to live. And I told myself I'm going to live my life until the day I die. That's how I live. And I'm only 34 years old. So, and I have a lot of wisdom right now, only in my early 30s, because of leaving my comfort zone and breaking up with my ex-fiance, because I had to start listening to this, my intuition. That's it. And I feel like when you thank you so much, Mark. I love your people.
Oh, they're amazing.
No, that's damn right. Yes, that is damn right. Exactly. Because when you have a dream, you can't let the fear or like the unknown or like the what ifs really get to you. You gotta be like, hey, listen, you know what? I'm going to figure it out. And that's exactly what I did. So
That's awesome.
I lived in Busan.
So what made you
Thank
choose
so much.
Spain? Of course.
Yeah,
Go
so
ahead,
I
finish
have
your
a whole
statement. I
story.
apologize.
After Busan, South Korea, I lived in Mexico City, and I was doing an internship there. And so basically how Spain happened, it was all due to rejection. So I was supposed to go to graduate school in Chicago. I didn't get accepted. So I applied to graduate school in Spain and I got accepted. So that's why I came to Spain as a master's student on a student visa. I got my master's in global higher education. I used to work and study abroad as a study abroad consultant. And then I was an English teacher assistant. But because when I was in Spain the first time 3 years ago, I got a Polish passport. So I am here legally because I have a Polish passport. I have dual citizenship, a Polish passport from my mother due to ancestry. And then I got the American passport too as well. But I'm here with a Polish passport. So I tell people, and it's actually very interesting, a lot of my friends got their Polish passport through like parents, grandparents, and great grandparents. So it's through ancestry. So especially with people from like Latin America too, they can also get a second passport due to like ancestry. And because Spain colonized the Philippines, Puerto Rico, obviously we know that too as well, Colombia, Argentina, and etc.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what made you choose Spain? What made you settle in Spain?
Because I believe in past lives, and I 1000% believe I had a past life in Spain, because I can't explain to people when I first came to Spain when I was 26 years old, I felt like I was here before, and I've only gone to Poland every single year to see my family. So to me, it was a past life feeling and a past life vibe. Because I do tarot, by the way, and I wear 111. That's my numbers for angel numbers, and I'm very spiritual, and I'm very intuitive too as well, and I feel everything. And I was right. I went to Bali in October and it was confirmed. I was a past life Spaniard and I feel it. Because when I speak Spanish, I really, really feel it here, you know? Ah, gracias. Mi gafas de sol. Madre mía, te lo juro, también me encanta eso. Yeah. Thank you so much.
That's Slay. Slay Self-Love is my other sister. She does.
Madre mía, eso me encanta mucho. Thank you. Gracias. So sweet. I love it.
Thank you, Slay.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
So you want to talk a little bit about, so I know you're originally from Chicago. You want to talk a little about what were some of the culture shocks that you endure or encountered while living in Spain, or because you still live in Spain?
Well, I live here in Madrid. That's why. So thank you. Yeah. So basically for culture shocks, not too much, because for me, I grew up going to Poland every single summer. For me, that's like not a big deal, right? Because my family all lives in Poland. No one lives in the United States. Only my mother and my brother, and everyone else is gone. They left the United States. They don't like it there. So everyone left. So all my family is in Poland right now as we speak. But I think the biggest thing for me, yes, it was. People eat super late here. So dinner is starts from 9 p.m., but that's very early. So you can start eating at like 10 and like end up at like 11 or 12. So people eat super late, and also they have merienda. Merienda is like lunch, for example. So people do eat, thank you. People do eat at like 2 p.m. or something like that. And I also feel, I got to this as an American standpoint, because I really realized this after living abroad, and everybody told me outside the States. In the United States, we eat so fucking fast. Why do we eat fast? Because we're always in a rush. We're always in a rush. You know what I mean? Thank you. We're always in a rush. And I didn't think about that, because I remember I was getting my master's and I was like eating so fast, and everyone's like looking at me, and I'm like, whoa. And they're like, tranquila, no hay prisa. I'm like, perdona, lo siento. I was like, I'm sorry. I don't know, because I grew up in a society where you always have to go back to work. You're always in a hurry. Your boss gives you 30 minutes, maybe an hour, who knows. You're always in a rush. Your nervous system is so fucked up in the first place because you're always nervous. That's why, you know? So it's true. It's a nervous system kind of feeling. And it's what we're so programmed to as Americans in the United States, America, profit over people, industry, and society. 1000%, you know? So yes, I did end up eating a lot. I actually realized I was eating really fast. And after living in Spain, I eat a lot slowly, because you don't even realize it. It's so psychological. It's so subconscious, you know? So that's why. Yep.
Right. So
you can't relax on a break.
You
Yeah.
can't, so you can't get a break. So you found yourself, so culture shock, right? You found yourself eating slowly. What are some other culture shocks that you experienced while living
So
there?
many more, so many more. So here in Spain, people they don't walk as fast as opposed to like New York or Chicago. And I'm like from Chicago, so I'm from a big city. You know, we're always in a
Right.
hurry. We got to get to work or do other things. So I would
Hmm.
say here in Spain, people tend to walk a lot slower. Depends, like if you're like in the city center, yeah, people are like rushing. I get it, right? But like if you're outside the city center, people are
Hmm.
like much more chill. So people don't walk as fast. People take their time, and the grandmas, las abuelas y los
Mm.
abuelos, like grandmothers and grandfathers, they just chill. Like I've never seen that before in my life. Like I'll be at a park
Mm.
at 2 p.m. going for a walk before having calls with my clients, and they're just straight up chilling and like sleeping. I'm like, this is fucking cool. Because back in the States, I mean, like my father was in a damn nursing home for Christ's sake, you know? Or older
Mm.
people are at home, they're not leaving their home. So like it's just more of a social life. Because if you think about it, Mexico and Spain is so central when it comes down to like community, like culture, it's collective culture over an individualistic culture where it's all about me, 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 me. And that's the
Right.
United States of America. There's no doubt about
Hmm.
it.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
So, what would your advice be for someone who said that, listen, Nicole, I don't have any money. I only have $1,000 to my name.
Mhm.
Can I move to Spain? Is it something is that feasible? Can I move to Spain?
No, no,
No.
absolutely not. That's no, that's not possible. $1,000 is not going to get you anywhere at all, honestly. So that's a
Okay.
good question because the thing is, before you move to Spain, it depends on number one, what visa do you want to pursue? So if you want to
Right.
go there, like by getting a bachelor's, master's, PhD, etc., you'd go on a student visa. If you want to go there on a remote job, or if you have like your own like online business, etc., then you go on a digital nomad visa. However, you need to have a certain amount of money like in your actual bank account before you end up
Hmm.
moving to Spain, because you can go there on a tourist visa, no big deal, for like 90 days, only 90 days, or else you're getting kicked out. They are very strict right now with people who end up like staying a lot longer because they check. Because now when you go to the
Mm.
airport, they're actually checking, like scanning your face, like the same thing as United States too. They scan everything, so they do
Hmm.
scan
Hmm.
like your biometrics, your fingerprints, etc. They have all your information, just like in the States
Sure.
too. So
Hmm.
I would say $1,000 is not going to get you anywhere at all. And I would just say basically, like off my experience, I would say if you can work a second job on the weekends, waitressing, bartending, working on Amazon for Christ's sake. Just like there's so many other part-time jobs, side gigs, hustle, hustle, hustle. Come on, guys. I worked 3 jobs before I moved abroad. You could do it too as well.
Mm.
There you go.
Yeah. So, what's a comfortable limit or amount you would suggest a single person and a family to have in their account?
Definitely. So right now with Spain, they want at least like five to like $8,000 to like make the reason why they want to make sure you have the money is because they don't want you mooching off their system. Even though
Right.
like you are not a European citizen, unless you hold it as a second like passport from the European Union, they want to make sure when you're here, what are you going to do? And also like
Hmm.
making sure, because I'm just kidding. I'm not going to make the fluff at all. I'm going to tell you the real truth because I know how it is here, right? I'm living here and stuff.
Hmm.
They just like want to make sure like when you're here, what are you going to do? Are you going to study Spanish? Are you going to get a bachelor's, master's, PhD? Are you going to be like working for a company that sponsors your visa? Do you have a partner, a Spanish partner? Let's be honest here. Let's be factual. So that's
Sure.
why. So yeah, they want to make
Hmm.
sure that like you are here and not mooching off their system, because Spaniards could do it because they're from here. We have the same thing back in the States. Food stamps,
Hmm.
etc. I've had food stamps, so I know exactly what it's like. I grew up very poor with an immigrant mother, so I know how it is. So like I
Hmm.
said, it's just really important to like be mindful, sorry, of your
Hmm.
financial situation and save money. So for me, it's kind of crazy, but actually worked for me. I actually sold plasma. So in order to make money, I sold plasma and I sold blood, which sounds
Mm.
crazy, but look, I made money. I made $600. I know it
Mm.
sounds insane, but hey, a girl's got to do what she's got to do. United States of America all about hustling. So that's
Sure,
why.
sure, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
definitely,
Mhm.
which your point taken is basically save as much as you can.
Correct.
So would you
Yes.
say a healthy amount would be for a single person, maybe 5,000, 8,000, or a little bit
Yeah,
more?
yeah. I would say from like for a single person like 5,000. Oh, sorry. I don't know what happened here. I apologize. Yeah, 5,000 for a single person, and for a family I would say 5,000, 8,000, even like maybe 10,000 too as well. It's not so much for the cost of Spain. It depends where you are, right? It's more for like the concept of Spain, making sure like if you're here, what are you going to do? You know? Because unfortunately, I'll tell you how it is. People from other countries, they come to Spain and they tend to like really abuse the system, like being here, having friends from Morocco, places in Africa, etc., India, Pakistan. Like I've seen it with my own eyes. So I just like want to be able to be factual and honest with Americans, Canadians, Australians, whoever is like in this live, and just generally speaking. Yep.
Sure. So
Yeah.
so I have a couple of questions here. So
Yeah, please.
what differentiate Spain from other European countries?
Definitely. So honestly, it just really depends. Like I think Spain as a whole is great because if you want to like live in Spain, you have the whole entire European Union like at your fingertips, literally. So you can like go to Poland, where my family's from, which is a beautiful country. You guys can go to Poland, you guys can go to Estonia, you can go to Latvia, you can go to Lithuania. You can go to Germany, anywhere. So you do have the European Union at your fingertips. There's also a lot more cheaper flights with Ryanair, which is a very well-known airline, such as Spirit back home. So it's very similar within that. I could take a plane, a bus, etc. I will say from my personal experience, just traveling around Europe and doing it on a budget because I was a student back then, didn't have money. I just took a bus and I paid like 15 euros from Germany to Austria. I went from Berlin to Vienna. I paid 15 euros. That was like 2 years ago. So yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
wow.
Definitely possible. Yeah, because taking the Flixbus, I can also write this down too as well. It's a lot cheaper than like, flying and stuff. So there's a lot of different ways to be able to, navigate around the European Union, like on a cheaper budget. So yeah, you have the European Union at your fingertips. It's great. It's safe here. It's super safe. But living in Mexico as well, I lived in Mexico City. I was actually perfectly fine. I had no issues living in Mexico City. I'm actually going back there next week for a wedding. So I'll be back in my little area where I used to live. But yeah, it just depends. You can go to Panama, you can go to Mexico, you can go to Mexico, Colombia, Argentina. Like I go to these places by myself and I'm perfectly fine. So I definitely think the most important thing is like having an open mind and being super cautious. Like when I travel, I don't put any headphones in ever. I'm always watching my surroundings, being from Chicago. And where I'm from is not a very safe area. So I'm literally where I'm from. I near the South Side Chicago, basically. So that's why. Yeah.
Okay, you want to talk a little bit about Spain's culture? Is that something that you could touch on a little bit?
Por supuesto. Joder, tía. Of course. I know Spain super well because I immerse myself in the culture no matter what. Like even in Mexico, like I always immerse myself. I speak to the people nonstop because I want to learn. I want to absorb like a sponge, I don't want to be ignorant. And I care. That's why. So Spain's culture really depends where, because I'm in Madrid, the capital. It's like New York City. It's super international. So I would say like Sevilla. Sevilla is like the south of Spain. Sevilla, Tarifa, Cadiz, and whatnot is super beautiful. They have a lot of like, parties, a lot of like festivals and that kind of thing. It's like the south of Colombia, like Cartagena, Cali, exactly. So they're really great. They're really like super slow too as well. Like they take their time, which is they take their time, which is super nice. They're not like in a rush. Madrid is more of like a city, like, cosmopolitan vibe where they are a bit in a rush, but like not as opposed to like Sevilla, Cadiz, Tarifa, and like other places too as well. North of Spain, Galicia, because last year I walked the Camino de Santiago. It's a beautiful, it's a camino, it's a pathway. I walked for 6 days and I walked, oh my God, what is in kilometers? I know kilometers right now, guys. I don't know miles. Sorry. I walk 95
That's
kilometers.
another culture shock. Yeah.
Yeah, I know this already because of my family. So I think in a way, I walked 115 kilometers. So that's like 97 miles. That's why. Exactly. So I was able to walk, and that's it. I love walking. So it just really depends.
Mm.
Number one, it depends on where you are in Spain. It depends on like, like where you are, where you're traveling, where you're living. I always tell everybody, if you're open, to like learning the language and making mistakes, it's part of life. I'm sure when we were learning the language English at first, I made a lot of mistakes. I couldn't even fucking read. I couldn't even fucking write the word restaurant. I still can't figure it out. So I'm just telling you the truth. Like there are a lot of like things that like, yeah, I mean, there's a lot. I feel like as humans, like, we are obviously evolving as it is. I don't care how old you are, 20, 30, 40, 50, etc., 70, 80. It doesn't matter if you're dead or whatever, right? Like later on, I'm just telling you the truth. It's just like we're always evolving and we're making mistakes. You know why? Because we're human. That's why.
Of course.
Yes, exactly.
So my next question is, so what is the culture norms or etiquette that people should have or should respect for Spain?
Definitely. Yeah. So definitely. There's actually something I tell people too as well. Okay. So for example, when you go to a restaurant, in the States, we always have like a waitress always asking us, do you want more ketchup? Do you want more mayonnaise? Oh, how's your food, hon? Do you need anything? Here, no, absolutely not. Like all they're just gonna do is like you're just gonna sit down, or you could just be seated, and then like they'll come over and like ask you what you want. They could like, it depends where. They could ask you how's your food, but they will never bother you. Be like, oh, do you want this? Do you want this? No, thank God, because you can actually have a full-on conversation without being interrupted a million times. And guess what too as well, like back in the States, you can't stay at a place for so many hours because they're always trying to rotate tables, They're always like trying to rotate tables and get people out, get their money for tips, and that's it. Because waitresses make money off a little bit by hourly and mostly by money and tips, which I get. I was a waitress too as well. But in Spain, as a Europe as a whole, they let you sit down in peace. And it feels so good because going with my family and seeing my family in Poland, we would be at a restaurant for like 3 or 4 hours and no one cares. They're not gonna be like, oh, hey guys, chop, chop, you gotta go. No, they let you be able to take your time, sit down, relax, and you can be literally outside at a cafe for hours and hours and no one's gonna bother you, which is super nice. So you get a really good fluid conversation and you feel at peace, not just like, oh, is that waitress gonna come? Are they gonna try to close me out? Et cetera, et cetera. Yep. So that's a really good thing to notice. I've just been really cognizant of that. And I think just like really slowing down, like not asking for the check right away because they're taking their time. They're too busy talking. I know how Spaniards are. So I'm like, hey, listen, no hay prisa. And in Spanish, they say tranquila, tranquila, which means tranquil, means slow down. Exactly.
Yep. I know tranquila and I know caliente or something caliente or something like that.
20.
Oh, caliente. I thought it was like, I thought caliente. Oh, my Lord. I thought caliente was like calm. I thought it meant calm.
No, it's okay. So tranquila.
Calmate. Thank you. Calmate.
Calmate.
That's what okay. I mean, I know a little Spanish.
Oh, you're fine. No pasa nada. It's good.
Look at the host try to stimulate people the wrong way.
Don't worry about it. It's perfectly fine. You're good. Actually, I want to tell you guys a really funny story. So listen, when I first started learning Spanish, I was in Mexico. I was actually in a small village, and instead of saying like pollo, like chicken in Spanish, I said polla, and they said polla. I said no.
My. Wow.
I said madre mia, no. I was so red, guys. I was like red like this, so red.
Of course. So can you provide a general cost of living overview for majority cities? I know you're in Madrid right now and you've lived in Barcelona. You want to give us a general cost breakdown as far as housing, transportation, hospital bills, etc.
Yeah, definitely, of course. So so it really depends where in Spain, right? So I tell people if you want to move anywhere in Spain, Valencia is a lot more cheaper than living in Madrid. Barcelona is a lot more expensive because the thing is like people are coming from like Dubai and they have a lot of money too as well. So I would just say it really depends where. I'd say Valencia is amazing. I love La Rioja. That's like the north of Spain too as well. I also like Malaga. Malaga is actually very like reasonable. It's like not too expensive. Malaga is like the same as like, you know, Miami. So it really depends. Okay. So right now for my place, I'm paying 1,000. So I'm paying 1,000 as it is. It's a big studio, you know, as it is. I have,
It's
I'm
in
in my bed.
euros.
Yeah, so I'm paying 1,000 euros as we speak. So I pay 1,000 euros like, you know, per month as we speak. And it's like a nice area too as well. So for my Metro Pass, I don't have a car because I sold my car before I moved abroad, which also I tell people if you want to save some money, sell your car. Why not? I don't need my car. You know? Yeah, I sold my car. Yeah, I don't have a car anymore. So yeah, like I said, so right now I pay, let's see, I pay like 25 euros per month for like my abono. It's a Metro Pass, which actually includes like the metro and the bus. So it's super nice. So money conversion, you have to use XE, the actual like application, or you can use like, even use like, you know, your calendar, what chat, GBT, whatever. So the thing is like, you're going to be able to convert euros to dollars. Unfortunately, right now, the dollar has been decreasing. I don't know if you guys have heard that, but I always follow everything. So it just really depends. The dollar increases, decreases. We can't really control that. So I really like make sure that I have two accounts. I have an account in Spain. I have an account in the United States, America. So now let's see. Food. Okay, I don't really go out to eat because I like to cook. I'm a major like chef.
Hold on
So
for a
I could
second.
tell
So
you.
I'm using my calculator. So this is the regular Apple calculator. So for $1,000, guys, 1,000 euros is 1,187.23 USD.
Correct, for my studio. And it's a pretty big studio too as well. I'm sorry I'm like on my bed. I'm charging my phone. I apologize. But yeah, so it's like a big studio as it is, and I love it. Oh, sorry, Mark. He wants to take notes. But he could talk to me because I'm a move abroad coach. So it's all good. But anyways, yeah, so he had some questions. Okay, so in terms of my so yeah, for me paying for my studio, it is 1,000 euros, you know, per month, which obviously converts to dollars. Now, I do keep two accounts. One bank account, Bank of America, back in Chicago, and I have one bank here, which is Santander as well, correct? So I have two accounts as we speak. However, the abono has the metro and the bus, and I pay 25 euros per month, which is like maybe, I don't know, $28 or something like that. I need to double check. And then
What about
okay, so the
utilities?
utilities, yeah. So my utilities, I'm paying like, let's see. So okay, so for internet, I'm paying 25. For my actual phone bill, I'm paying 15. And then because I'm using Orange, which is a very popular, like, you know, phone.
And we have heard now you want to touch a little bit about I've heard that Barcelona is a little racist. Do you
Because Barcelona is like very international. So there's people like all over the world, like from the Middle East, from Africa, just like from Central America, United States, etc. So it just really depends where. I don't like to say like, I like to basically say like Spain in a way, because I feel like it's such a general statement. It's like Spain in a way, it can be racist, but it's also racist toward people who are like from Bolivia, Peru, and whatnot too as well. And the reason why Spain is racist is, think about it. In a way, it's more so the history. Spaniards have this kind of like egotistical mindset and attitude that they control the world. Same as Argentina too as well. If you look at the history of Argentina, thank you. Sorry. If you look at the actual history of like Spain, you know, Argentina, etc., it is like the white skin. I'm going to be honest with you. I understand that too as well, but it should not matter where you come from. I don't care how, well, you know, where you come from, your skin color, etc. It's more so how you treat that person, respect, character, value, etc. So I would just say that it just depends where, but unfortunately, Spaniards are racist towards Polish people, which my family's from Poland, towards Bolivians, Peruvians, Mexicans, Venezuelans. It's because unfortunately, it's related to the history. It's the history of Spain, how they colonized many, many countries in general. And unfortunately, I feel like it's just so like embedded, like in their like genetics And unfortunately, I can't change that, but they are
Sure.
being more and more open towards people. Because guess what? Now, Madrid, when I'm walking in the city, people are speaking English and Spanish and other languages too. So
Absolutely.
Spaniards need to get their freaking shit together because people are coming here for job opportunities from Bolivia, Venezuela, whatever, Haiti, et cetera, Dominicana. And the reason why people from Central America and South America are coming is because since their countries were colonized, they can move to
Mm-hmm.
Spain and live here for 2 years and get the Spanish residency. So, for example, my friend's from Peru. He's been living here for 2 years. He's a Spanish teacher and an English teacher, and now he's waiting for his residency. And he just came because his mother moved here. That's why. Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So
It's
you're
historical. It's all
you're
historical. It's
okay. So what
historical.
cities would you say would be? So you touched on the cost, the cost breakdown, right? So you pay €1,000, a little over 200, right, for your studio in a nice area. You pay maybe $100 or euros like that for groceries, your
It
Wi-Fi, phone
depends. Yes,
bill.
correct.
It all depends, right? Um, You're welcome, Alicia. Thank you.
Of course.
Alicia says
I'm gonna
thank you.
follow her if that's okay,
And
Alicia.
then
Thank you.
your Metro card is less than what, 30 USD. And
Yeah,
so it's pretty affordable to live there in Madrid, right?
correct.
And now we're touching on about racism, right? Because there are a lot of people like my followers, they look like me. And we know
Yeah.
racism exists everywhere. It's everywhere. And it can happen to anyone. So what cities would you say would be safe for someone that looks like me? Or someone that's from Poland or from Bolivia or Colombia, etc.?
Definitely. So I would say like in terms of cities, it's just like more of like a cosmopolitan vibe because there's more exposure to people, let's say from different countries like in Africa or like et cetera, right? Like from the States or whatever. People that have like more exposure and like more global diversity. So definitely Madrid, Valencia, Malaga, Alicante, Barcelona, and other places too as well. Bilbao is like the north of Spain. It's near San Sebastian. So places that have like more of like a international presence, like an international vibe. People are moving there to work, study. They have a partner there. Who knows? Internship, etc. So it's just like more so on how to be able to move there and find people who you're able to vibe with. But yeah, Malaga for
Sure.
sure, Valencia, Madrid, Barcelona, etc. Correct. Yeah.
So is it cheaper to say, is it fair to say that it's cheaper to live in Barcelona? I'm sorry, Madrid? I'm sorry, let me rephrase the question.
Okay.
Is it safe to say that it's cheaper in Madrid than Barcelona?
I think it really depends where, because I believe like truly, and I think the same thing as well, like in other places in Chicago, it depends where you live. Like if you're living close, like let's say like downtown Chicago, you're spending a lot of money, right? If you live like farther away from Chicago, like Joliet, for example, it's a suburb outside of Chicago, it's cheaper. So I think it's all about like proximity and like the distance away from like the larger, like, big cities, the tourist attractions, etc. So I definitely think the most important thing is like, it depends where you live. And for me, I hate like touristy areas, lots of people, and it's expensive. Also, too, as well, if you see like signs in English and Spanish, it means it's more expensive. So where I stay, it's more local. I have a lot of people from Bolivia, Peru, people from like Morocco, like India, Pakistan. It's very international. People from China too, as well. So I want to stay in an area where it's affordable for me, where I'm saving money instead of just like spending the money too, as well. Because yes, you're right. When you do go to Spain with USD, yes, your money does stretch further. But your money stretches more further in South America and Southeast Asia. I went to Bali. I know we're talking about Spain, but for example, I went to Bali. I spent like what, $10 per day for like a beautiful Airbnb. So yes, it just really depends. It depends where you want to be. Spain, Colombia, Argentina, Peru, Puerto Rico, wherever you want to be. It's just more so what fits you, your personality, your values, and like what is a good fit for you in terms of like alignment wise. Everyone's different, so that's why.
Understood.
Yeah.
So let's talk about quality of life and healthcare systems. Which one did you want to tackle first?
Let's talk about quality of life because I really feel like back in the States, at least for me personally, because I always had to work multiple jobs and I know the hustle of United States, America. And I actually respect the American like hustle culture. It really shows like grit. It shows that we're resilient as fuck. Like Americans are just resilient as hell. We're like, we just got to be able to pay our bills and make it work for us and our families. So I get it. Like I grew up with a musician father. My dad was a blues musician and my dad was a blues drummer working Maxwell Street in Chicago. So like I saw my father like literally hustle, hustle, hustle. So I remember watching my dad, hustle as it is. So I would say coming from the States, life here is a lot more tranquil, a lot more like relaxed. Where, for example, yes, people are working, but then when they finish up work, they're meeting their friends to go for a drink. They're going to get some food and they're just talking and enjoying and having a glass of wine. And they're able to really just wind down, literally wind down and relax.
Yeah,
too.
literally wind down.
Yes, correct. They're able to like wind down and relax. And I think it's really interesting because they make less money here, but I see like they're like more happier, like emotionally like fulfilled, And I was talking to a Spanish girl and she's like, I love Spain. I don't want to leave. And she's like, I know I can go to Germany. I can go to like the States. I can go anywhere. But she's like, I want to stay here because this is where the quality of life is. We really enjoy our life. We are here to like live our life day to day, not just like, let's think about 5 years from now or 10 years from now, etc. So just more so how to be able to really enjoy your life and that thing too as well. Oh, what the hell is this? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Karina, for the bubble gum.
I love the bubble gum. Thank you. I didn't know what that was. But yeah, I'm just telling you the quality of life here is incredible and it's unmatched. Argentina too as well, Colombia. It's just more of a culture that really celebrates life. I definitely think so. They celebrate life and they celebrate being happy. Because you know why? Because friends and family are essential to them, not just money. United States of America, we're all central about, that's true. America is literally, yes, I'll talk about that too as well, Mark. Yeah, United States of America is so central, like making money. That's it. Everything's centered around money and literally everything is centered around money and like working multiple jobs to make ends meet because life is expensive. We're all fucking stressed out there. We're not happy. We're miserable. We're complaining. Well, I wonder why. It's the environment. That's why. And it's a system too as well. Yeah.
Absolutely. So quality of life for Spain is on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being, 10. 10?
Yes, 100, the best quality of life ever. Yes,
and that's because of quality of life and the culture, the food, the people, bureaucracy. Will you want to touch a little bit about bureaucracy?
Yes, for sure. Also about the food too as well. I just want to tell this to like your audience. I don't know if they know this. I don't know if they've been to Spain or Germany, but what really surprised me when I first moved to Spain as a master's student, I went to a grocery store and I noticed every single every single item of food was marked A, B, C, D, E, F. I was like, okay, well, this is interesting. I'm like fucking in school again. I feel like I'm back in my university where I'm like, oh, you have an A, you have a B, etc. I'm like, okay, that's cool. So now I was curious. So I said in Spanish, I'm like, oh, tengo una pregunta, ¿qué es eso? I'm like, what is this? And they explained to me, yeah, so this is actually a grading of the quality of the food. So yeah, chips are an F, right? Fucking terrible. But however, like your green beans, A, your yogurt, A. And it's so incredible to see that. United States has so much money. They don't care about us. We are literally a dollar sign and that's it.
That's right.
You are money. You are literally money. You're a fucking dollar sign. I'm from my language. I'm sorry, it's true. You are a dollar sign. You are literally money to them. You are profit over the people. That's exactly how I seen it. I saw it at the nursing homes. I saw it like, at the hospice center. I saw everything. I saw how the system works. It's sick. And I said, am I having my future kids there? No. Am I going to die there? No. I'm going to die back in my home country, back in Poland. But yes, thank you. Because I'm too wide awake. That's the problem when you're too wide awake in this life. So that's why. Thank you.
Oh gosh, it's Mark, please be kind to yourself, Mark.
No, Mark, listen. Oh, and also another thing too as well. So when I first moved to Spain, I actually started losing weight. I ate the bread here and I'm like, oh, that's weird. Because back in the States, I go to Trader Joe's, whatever, right? It's a grocery store we have in Chicago. I don't know if you guys have Trader Joe's.
We do have Trader Joe's here.
Oh, we have Trader Joe's. Okay, cool. So yeah, Trader Joe's, like for example, and I get the bread and it's really good. But guess what? I look on Yucca, it's like whatever 30 out of 100. So I have the bread here, and guess what? It's 100 or 97. Because unfortunately, the bread back in the States has. Thank you. Unfortunately, the bread in the States has a lot of chemicals. Here in Spain, they actually moderate the actual chemicals. Germany, Spain, Switzerland, Poland, they actually care about people's health over the States where unfortunately you're buying Cheetos or etc. and that's perfectly fine. So yeah, correct.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's true.
So we want to talk a little bit about healthcare
Yes, of
and
course. So
how.
healthcare is,
Sure.
yeah, healthcare is actually pretty great. So
Hmm.
based off my experience, okay, so with healthcare, so typically for Spaniards, they have like healthcare because they are citizens of the country and they are working, like at a company,
So there's
etc.
universal healthcare.
Yes, they
There's
have
universal
universal
health.
health care, which
Okay.
means I want to be able to explain that for people that don't know, because I know from like my family being in Poland. So yes, they do have to pay into the system every single month. And yes, it is a bit expensive, but guess what? They're able to go to a doctor and not have to pay, a lot of money. So that's why.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, what
Hold
happened
on.
here? Oh, you're fine, no problem. It's all
There
good.
you go.
You're
I hit
fine.
the wrong button. Sorry.
You're fine, no problem. So yeah,
You
like
want to
I
go get
said,
some more water? You need more water?
no, I'm good. No
You're
problem. I'm
good?
used
You're
to
good. Okay.
that's why. Yeah. So like I said, with universal healthcare, you do have to pay into a system like every single month. And that does come from your taxes for like the job that like you're working at. However, for example, when I was an English teacher assistant and I had a really bad like sore throat, I went to the doctor and I paid this much, 0. And from there on, I paid, let's say, like $5 to get like the actual like antibiotics I needed. And I was so shocked because in South Korea, the same thing happened to as well. I paid little to no money in South Korea when I was super sick and I had bronchitis. So there you go, And then when I was back in the
And
States,
so,
I paid $175. Bullshit. No.
yeah. So, do you need, as an American living abroad or living in Spain, do you need private health insurance, or can you
Yes,
pay out of
exactly.
pocket?
Yeah, so yeah, that's actually true. So if you like go to the hospital, if you feel like, something's wrong within your body and you're like, I have to go to the hospital, then yes, you have 2 options. So you're right, Heaven.
Okay.
So number 1, you have to pay out of pocket, depending where, depending like, what area, like hospital and that kind of thing, you pay with a credit card, debit card, etc. And number 2, you do get private healthcare insurance. I love Adelsas. It's
Adels.
ADESLAS. Yeah, I
Okay.
can also write it down too as well. So
Sure.
ADSLAS, that's a great healthcare, or Sanitas, SANITAS. You guys, I was an English teacher for 5 years. Now you understand I'm an English teacher. I'm like
Yep.
ABCD. So yes, it's they're a great healthcare. And yeah, they're actually able to be able to provide the healthcare that you need when you're living abroad. And they focus more on the European Union. So like any country in the European Union, etc.
Oh, excuse
Bless
me.
you. Gesundheit. Salud. Na zdrowie. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Gracias.
No problem.
All right, hon. So, with respect to healthcare, would you say it's cheaper and more accessible versus the United States?
Yeah, United States of America, don't get me started with the damn healthcare there. Because I remember I went there. Oh yeah, I had like a really bad, I had like bronchitis. And I had to pay
Yep.
$175 for what? It was $175 for a 30-minute like consultation visit. And then number 2, it was like $25 for the antibiotics. And I said, I told him, like, this is fucking bullshit. I'm like, in South Korea, I paid less money. In Spain, I paid less money. In Mexico, I paid less money. In Thailand, I paid less money. And they said, sorry, the United States. I'm like, you're a fucking business. That's why. And I
Wow,
said, I'm not
that's
paying.
wow.
I'm not paying. I said, fuck you guys. I didn't say it, but in my head, I'm like, I'm not paying. Fuck these people. And I didn't pay. And I don't care
So,
because you know what? I didn't care about paying. I said, this is such BS because I believe, as American citizens, we should at least get universal health care. Why we spend so
sure.
much money in the first place for adequate, terrible health care? It's not even detail oriented in the first place. I had better health care in a third world country, Thailand, than the United States of America. And they're more
Yep.
detail oriented. They check everything. They check everything. In the States, it's like, oh, 30 minutes, you're up. What about what else? Nothing.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
Because it's just money. Thank you. Goodbye.
Yeah, it is.
Sorry.
So I have my questions on my computer. That's why you see me,
No problem.
reading. So we touched on, so you want to touch a little bit about visas. What are the correct path or the ideal pathway for either citizenship? Because that's a lot of my audience, they would prefer citizenship or just residency. So could you touch a little bit on that?
Yeah, definitely. So it depends on which visa. So I'm going to go over the visa step by step. So number one, the visa that I originally went on was a student visa. And that's for
Okay.
people that number one want to get a bachelor's degree, master's degree, or a PhD. Or if you want to move, to Spain and study Spanish at a language academy, that's a student visa. So
Yep.
then from there on, there's a non-lucrative visa where you have a lot of savings, at least like $20,000, $30,000 of savings in your US account or whatever. And then from there on, you don't come here and you work for a company. You have like your own savings. And then from there on, you can like manage your own business or whatever. Like my best friend has a non-LV. So it's called
Non-LV, what is that?
no, sorry, it's called a NLV,
Okay.
non-lucrative visa. So
Okay.
non-lucrative visa, which actually stands for NLV visa. That's for people who have a lot of savings, like in their actual account. And number two, they will not work for a Spanish company and make money in a Spanish account. So my best friend is managing her own graphic design business in the States. So she does work US hours, EST, PST, CST, etc. But she's working remotely in Spain, making money in a US account, and then has some money in a Spanish account. So that's people who have savings, who are retiring early. The third one is, yes, the third one. The third one is the digital nomad visa. Again,
Yep.
digital nomad visa. People who, number one, work remotely, not a W-2, on a 1099, or they're able to get an EOR and they're able to actually like ask their boss to be able to work remotely outside the States. So it's good for like travel agents, software engineers, virtual assistants, data entry, etc. Project managers. Like if you're able to work remotely outside the States, then you're able to like, work it out with your boss, etc. But that's for people who are able to like work remotely with a digital nomad visa. So it's good for two things. Number one, it's good for
Oh, excuse me. I've been fighting the sneeze.
it's okay, you're fine. It's good for like 1099 independent contractors. So talking to your boss and trying to arrange something together. But if you have a W-2 job working at a full-time corporate company, you cannot get the digital nomad visa. So a lot of people, and it's actually a trick because I did this after I got my master's. I was working and
Yep.
studying abroad. Oh, perfect. Thank you, Mark. I
It's
was working
1099.
and
Okay, that's good.
yeah, perfect. I was working as a 1099 independent contractor. I was a travel agent. So the thing is, I went to Spain. I was trying to figure out my options because I was waiting for my Polish passport, right? So I was thinking, should I just like go on a digital nomad visa with my 1099 job, like Mark, for example? Or should I just wait for my Polish passport through my mother and then like, move back to Spain? So I went on a Polish passport, but I do have friends here and clients I've helped, previously and currently right now who are here in Spain on a digital nomad visa. I also work with lawyers too as well in Spain. I work with like different types of visas too. I'm not an immigration attorney. I'm not an immigration lawyer, but I do work
Right.
alongside with them. So in case you have some
Okay.
questions, we could schedule a call, etc. Now, the next visa is para derecho. So let's say, for example, okay, let's
I'm
say,
sorry,
for
what is it
example,
called?
no one knows about this. Okay, so it's called pareja.
Okay.
I'm going to write this down for you guys. So give me a sec, okay?
Okay.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear us?
Okay, sorry. Yes, I can
Hear
hear
me
you.
at least.
Yes, perfect. I can hear you. Yes. Okay, so it's called pareja de hecho. Okay, pareja is partner, like a boyfriend and girlfriend, like a civil union. De hecho means done, right? So it's like pareja de hecho. So it means, let's say Mark is coming to Spain, he's single, whatever, divorced, etc., never married. Just example, not trying to, say anything bad, Mark,
Yep,
but just
yep.
example. So basically the thing is like Mark is like, moving to Spain and like he's working, like he finds somebody he like he wants to date. So they end up like dating for about a year or two. And then from there on, you're also, yes. Okay, you're also able to move to Spain on a para derecho. It's basically called a civil courtship kind of visa. So my best friend is from Texas. And she met her partner in Madrid, which was an English teacher. After 1 year being together, just dating, she applied for paredecho. It's like they call them like the partner visa, like the boyfriend.
It's like the 90-day fiance visa. Is like the 90-day fiance visa or whatnot, or
not so much. It's more like dating. That's why. Yeah, it's more like dating visa. That's why. And the next one is the it's called the highly skilled workers visa. Again, yeah, highly skilled workers visa. That's for people who are working in highly skilled industries. Software engineering, chemical engineering, project management, etc. So I do know a friend
doctors, etc. Or is there a healthcare visa?
Exactly. Nursing, nurses, doctors, dentists, etc. People who are able to take their skill set from like their current CV/resume and they're able to find a job. So right now I'm helping a woman who's coming from Dominican Republic. And she wants to move to Spain because her actual cousins live here. She wants to be close to her family. So I'm helping her right now move from Dominican Republic to Spain on a highly skilled workers visa because she is a dentist back in Dominicana. Make sense?
Yep, that's good. Yep, it does. Yeah. It does make sense.
Yeah, exactly. Because she's like, well, I want to be close to my family. My uncle's here. My cousins are here. She just wants to be close to family. So I get it, for sure.
So the other visa you're talking about, the dating visa, what's the success rate on that?
But that just actually works. So it really depends. Number one, it really depends on where you're living in Spain, right? Barcelona, Madrid, Malaga, Valencia, Alicante, San Sebastian, all the different regions. It depends on their actual qualifications too as well. But it's really good. And, it's really good when you actually meet someone from anywhere in the European Union. It doesn't have to be Spain. It could be Germany, Poland, Slovakia, Germany, etc. So let's say, for example, Mark meets a girl, let's say from Italy. They end up dating. They can also get the paredecho because she is from Italy and she also lives in the European Union. So people who have the European passport have an advantage because they're from the European Union and they can live anywhere in the European Union. Make sense?
It does. It does. So in terms of, I have one, so we talked about quality of life, we talked about healthcare. What about schools for individuals like myself, who I have a 3.5-year-old and families that are in the chat right now? There's 18 people in the room. What about international schools? Can you talk a little bit about schools?
Definitely,
public and private?
Yes, of course. So I'm going to be able to actually categorize what schools could be a good fit. So yes, there are international schools. They're very expensive, super expensive, honestly. You could go to one. It's up to you to pay the money. But honestly, I love bilingual schools because why not have your child have the exposure to English and Spanish for their cultural exposure, and for their also for their well-being and for their to be able to grow too as well, living in a Spanish-speaking country. So I tell people that's great. They can go to international school, but you're spending a lot of money. I think it's important to go to a bilingual school, private, public, because your child will start learning Spanish immediately as a sponge. Because for me, thank you. Because for me, I grew up in Chicago.
They're showing you some love. They're showing you some love.
But I speak the fucking truth. I'm not lying about anything at all. I tell you how it is. I grew up to speak the truth, And I think in a way, I'm not going to sugarcoat shit in life because I'm not like that. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to tell you what life is like. And if you like it or not, great. If not, then maybe it's not for you, So I'm not trying to sell Europe as a dream like a lot of these other relocation agencies. No, I will tell you how it is. Either you like it or you don't like it. It's about time to adapt and integrate. That's why.
Yep.
So going back to
international.
Yeah, so international schools are great, but they're really expensive. I like the bilingual schools. I like the private schools. I like the private schools, public schools, because your child, your boy, your girl will start learning Spanish just like that. Because when I was a child, I went to Polish school on the weekends, and I went to my regular, kindergarten, elementary, etc. during the week, because my mother said, I want to make sure my daughter speaks Polish because that is her culture. That's her nationality. You're not going to stop forgetting who you are. Your roots are Polish, and that's it, So thank you so much, Emmanuel. Muito bom, muito bom. That's exactly right. So he understands exactly. So for me, languages are more than just learning. It's connection. It's integration. It's really learning who you are when you leave a system that you're not familiar with. But guess what? You're going to learn. Te vas a aprender mucho. You're going to learn a lot, you know? So yes, I would like that, for your daughter, your son, whoever, right? You got to be able to put them in a bilingual learning environment, because once they do, your child is going to learn just like a sponge. Oh, I love that. Yep, exactly. And international schools, they're great, but they're just so much like marketing, brand. I'm just like, come on, give me a fucking break. I worked at international school in South Korea. It's all about the money. It's all about the money, boo. It's all about the money. That's it. Exactly.
So you would prefer public, you would recommend public over private. So when will an American would be able to put their kid into public school?
Yeah, of course. So this is actually very interesting to know this. So in the European Union as a whole, all the schools start like in September. Back in the States, it starts like, I think like end of August, or depends, depends where. So yeah, all the schools in the European Union always start in September. So it starts in September. So I'd recommend that you just start to do that, not August, because August, no one is working. As a European, they don't work in the month of August. They're all off. Don't even try to email a person from the European Union. They're not going to respond. So I would just start like in the summer and that kind of thing too as well. You can go to international school. It's perfectly fine. I think it's more expensive, but honestly, it's up to you. That's your money. You decide what you want to do with your money. That's it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you have in Portugal it's the same, because my son will start but so there was a question in the chat about preschools. I'm assuming there are preschools there, right?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sure.
You can finish drinking.
No, you're fine. It's all good. No, so the thing is, like, in terms of preschools, so it just really depends, because a lot of these schools, they have like kids up to like, 2, 3, 4 years old. So they're all like integrated as a whole. Like like up here, like in the States, you have preschool, you have then, elementary school, middle school, high school, and etc. But preschool is not separate. It's integrated. That's why. Make sense?
It does.
Yeah, like so I don't know, because I didn't go to preschool, because my mom's from Poland, and my mom does not believe in preschool, because Poland don't have preschool. It's all together. So like I said, like when I was working at the actual the actual public school a few years ago, we had kids as young as 2, 3 years old in the actual school. Yeah. We call them the baby infantil. We call them infantil. So basically with the school system, you have infantil, like the little babies. Then you have, like your kindergarten, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, stop. Then you have, like high school, etc. Make sense?
Sure. Yep.
I will talk about moving abroad. This is my life for 5 years. I will talk about this until I'm dead. This is like my life. Thank you. That's it. Integration. Yep. Thank you, Karina.
I'll let you drink.
Yep, no problem.
When you're ready.
Of course. Sure. I think the thing is, like, I love talking about moving abroad, because I did this in different countries myself, and it inspired me and helped me grow much more living abroad and living in the United States of America. Like I learned who I am by moving abroad and leaving my comfort zone. That's it.
Sure.
Yeah.
So now with respect to visa requirements, do all the visas have some preliminary or some documents that can be used for different visas?
Yeah. So let me tell you about the visa, like the whole entire like background check as it is. So I want to tell this to your audience and people here who need to understand. They check for, number one, a misdemeanor and a felony. If you have a felony, you're fucked. You cannot be able to move abroad. If you have a misdemeanor, if you like stole something, drug, whatever related, you cannot be able to move abroad, because they check your background check. It is very, very important. You have a clean background check. Zero, nothing. It's very, 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 very important. Unfortunately, I was talking to somebody like a few weeks ago. They're like, yeah, I want to move to Spain. So I said, okay, how's your background check? I got arrested 5 years ago. Sorry, no puedes vivir aquí. You can't live here, Because unfortunately, the rest is on the background check. You go to the consulate, they said, no, you will not be able to move abroad. Unfortunately, that's what happened. So I said, it's unfortunate that it happens.
You can't, I have seen where others have submitted a letter of explanation, because there are times where their visas have been denied, or not rejected, but denied. So, and oftentimes they write a letter of explanation, because sometimes, the crime doesn't fit the punishment or whatever. And so when they do write that letter of explanation, they do tend to reverse or render a favorable decision. Is that something Spain will do as well?
Yeah, yeah. So it just really it depends like on how severe the case was. His was related to drugs, which obviously they're not gonna like let that happen at
Yeah.
all. But yes, you are
This one
able
was
to
a
actually get
DUI.
expunged.
This one was a DUI.
Right, exactly. The most important thing is to get expunged, right? To like make sure you get expunged. So be able to write a letter, have, that actual like proof of like, the proof that like what exactly happened, talking to your lawyers. That's a lot of like extra steps too as well. You can do it if you want to move abroad. If there's a will, there's a way. So it's definitely possible for sure. So, someone asked about traffic tickets. It does not matter because before I moved to Thailand, I literally had like a suspended driver's license just because I had too many traffic tickets. I didn't pay the
Oh,
traffic
wow.
ticket. But like now, I could tell you they didn't give a fuck. They don't care at all. As long as like not drug related or like fuck you killed somebody. Oh, you cannot move
Mm,
abroad. No.
mm.
Exactly. Yeah, I was riding dirty. That's true. Exactly. I didn't
Mark
care.
is
I was like, I'm
something.
out of here, so I didn't care.
So question,
That's just
question.
funny.
So part of the requirements, are they asking for both local and federal background check or just federal?
No, no. So that's a good question. So when it comes on your background check, it is the actual federal background check of United States America for American citizens. Same with like Canada, Australia, etc. So that's the most important thing. They'll just like look at your background check to make sure like you're good to go. Yes, you can get expunged, like you mentioned. You could write a letter, but hey, if it's really severe, you cannot leave the country and move abroad. It would be very difficult. You have to get a lawyer involved, an attorney. You have to spend lots of money. And I don't do that kind of
Sure.
stuff. Like I already work with lawyers as it is. You want people who have like clean background checks. We could deal with like, maybe a small misdemeanor, but no felonies, at all. Nothing severe. Correct. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you on that. And someone has a question in the chat. Let me pin it for you.
Sure.
It asks, how much do you need for the savings visa?
You mean for the actual non-lucrative visa, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, the
I'm assuming
non-lucrative
that's what it
visa.
is.
Yeah, the non-lucrative visa, they ask for savings within like I'd say like $25 to $30,000. So a lot of people, what they tend to do, and I've spoken to them too as well, they have sold their cars, they sold their houses, or they just do like Airbnb, like on the side where they're like getting like passive income, or they have another property or something like that. So people who have actually like that, people actually have like that savings, they can be able to qualify for the non-lucrative visa. And there are people who have like inheritances, etc. It depends on like, your financial circumstances and just like, what your situation is. Correct. Great question. I followed you, by the way, property protection. Love your name.
Oh, she's amazing. She's
I like
amazing.
it.
Um,
Nice.
so with respect to properties, we talked about transportation, we talked about foods in a culture. As far as properties, are expats allowed to purchase property, real estate, commercial,
Yes,
things
yes.
of that nature?
Yes, definitely. And actually, I'm really glad that you mentioned that because I work with a real estate agent who actually works with like Americans, Canadians, Australians who want to like buy an apartment, a villa, a house, etc. So I do work with her like one-on-one, like within like my business. So if you guys have any questions in regards like, buying property, she's incredible. She's worked in other countries in the European Union. She knows this market more than I do because unfortunately I have property in Poland for my family, but I have not bought anything yet. I will buy property in a few years at Alicante, the south of Spain. But right now, I moved back because of my father. He was sick back in the States. So I will buy property. But right now, I am saving my money. So yes, correct.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
Celestial, it's Spain. So she knows.
I was just about to respond to her. So my question is, there are people, a lot of incentives for, Spain is trying to, what's the word? I'm sorry. I have a headache right now, so
You're fine. It's
apologies.
okay. You're fine.
So Spain is trying to entice or provide incentives for individuals to move to their populations, like, towns where they've aged out or there's not a lot of people, and trying to encourage people, specifically Americans. Now, that's what I've heard and that's what I've seen. But is that a true statement? Can someone buy a home for $1 in Spain?
No, 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 absolutely not. No, I first of all, number one, that's totally like false marketing because I remember like during COVID, like during coronavirus, they said you could buy a house for like $1 in Italy. No, you have to definitely be able to put like an actual like down payment to as well. So it's definitely
Mm,
like impossible, you know, to be able to
mm,
like buy a place with $1. It's just more be able to have that money saved up, having a down payment, etc. So it depends like where in Spain. Yes, it's a lot more cheaper in the north of Spain, Galicia, La
mm,
Rioja, San
mm.
Sebastian, Bilbao. But like the south of Spain, like, you know, Alicante, etc., it depends where in Spain. And it depends just like the lugares, like the actual neighborhoods. So Madrid's a
Mhm.
lot more expensive, but like outside Madrid, like in the really beautiful mountainous area, it's cheaper. Yep. Definitely
Mm.
false
So
advertising, without a
that
doubt.
was all. That's false advertisement. So yeah, move here for $1 and just live here for 10
No, that's
years
bullshit. That's fucking
and they will
bullshit.
fund. Okay. So
Yeah.
that's not accurate, huh?
Sorry for swearing. I apologize. I'm from Chicago. I swear all the time. That's just like my character. That's why. But it's total
Mm.
BS. It's just false advertising to get more people to flock in. Be like, oh yeah, let me buy a house for $1. I have maybe $1,000 in my account. No, 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 no. It does not work like that. Trust me. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Mother.
Ah.
So lovely.
Okay. So,
Mhm.
we're almost at the end here. So, is there
That's it.
anything that I'm missing? Guys, put your questions in the chat. Where is
I
she
want to talk
currently?
about
She's
something
in
very, very
Spain.
important. I want to talk about the most
Sure.
important thing for everyone to understand. Okay, so this is very important for anyone who is moving abroad to Spain, Colombia, Argentina. It doesn't matter where the fuck you are. You have to learn the language. I'm telling you, learning the language is going to get you much farther in your, you know, in your journey of moving abroad than staying stuck in like your expat bubbles. I hate expat bubbles. These people are
Mm,
ignorant. They're closed-minded. They're always complaining, I don't know Spanish. Motherfucker, learn the fucking language, all right? Learn
mm,
the damn language. Come on. My mom moved from Poland to Germany, who learned German by herself, and then
mm,
then she moved to the States and like learned, you know, English at 45 years old. Give me a fucking break. Come on.
mm-hmm.
I'm a Northern
Yep.
immigrant. I learned Polish and English as a child. Like, and I learned Spanish too as well. Learn the damn language. Stop being lazy and stop with the damn excuses. Thank you.
Sure. Sure,
It's
sure,
all
sure. So,
excuses. It's all excuses to me. Come on. I learned Thai when I was living in Thailand. I learned kun sabay di mai, sabay di ka, kampun ka, you know, like just things that say how much does it cost. Because you know why? You don't learn the language. You have no respect. And you come with this
absolutely.
ignorant mindset thinking, oh, I'm the best. I'm from the United States of America. Look at me. No, our country where we're
Mm,
from is not the best country in the world. We think it is, but it's really other countries have a lot better than we do. And they just all false advertisement and like marketing. And I'm like, the United States is a business. It's always been a business. It's always been a business since I was a child, you know? And I
sure.
just tell people, learn the damn language. That's it. Not that fucking hard. You have Duolingo. You have YouTube. You have applications. Come on. And I tell
Mm-hmm,
my
mm-hmm.
clients too as well. You speak other languages with your family. Learn Spanish. There are language exchanges. So it's really cool. There's like a bars here and
Mm-hmm.
cafes where you can go and meet people. And you could just like, you know, meet people, learn the language, and even be like, hey, listen, guys, I'm from the States. I'm from Chicago, New York, Georgia, etc. Let's do a language exchange where I will teach you English for 30 minutes and then you can help me with
Mm-hmm.
Spanish for 30 minutes. And that's it. I learned Spanish just by speaking, and that's it. I do not speak a lot of Spanish, you guys. I grew up with a Polish mother who
Mm-hmm.
spoke Polish. My language is so different compared to Spanish language. It's Slavic. So please, not for your people here, people in general, stop being lazy and stop with the entitled mindset. We can't stand that shit. I can't stand that shit at all. So I tell people
Mm.
just that's it. Yep. And
Yep.
actually,
Okay.
I actually work with a Spanish teacher for my business, and my Spanish teacher focuses on like dialogue, conversation, dating, speaking. Sorry, yeah, whatever, reading, writing, vocab, everything. Thank you, Alicia. I
Mm.
like how she's smart. She's smart. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah.
right.
Thank you,
Um,
Alicia. Good for her.
so I just want to say thank you so much for coming on today.
Of
But
course.
before you leave, I know you have your business, and I just
Yeah.
want to ask one final question. You know, if I myself, right, because I'm considering Spain. right? So walk me through what it would be like if I reached out to you via DM and say, listen, I need some information. Let's talk. Could you walk me through what that process will look like?
Yeah, definitely. So people who are interested, what they'll do, they'll schedule a 30-minute call with me and my team. I have a lot of move abroad coaches, people who've actually like lived abroad, studied abroad, taught English abroad like me. So they understand the experience because they actually lived in different countries. So it's me and a bunch of other people too. So it's good to have people who actually understand what you're actually going to be going through, because it's very important because they lived it and I lived it too as well. And I know more than a person that's never actually lived abroad. That's why, just being honest, from experience exposure. So yeah, basically what I do, number one, I get really deep into like your situation. I'm going to ask you about your fears, because we all have fears in general. So I focus on like your fears. I focus on your hesitations. I focus on like, what is keeping you stuck? Why are you so stuck? Why are you so stuck? I'm stuck because I don't know what to do. I don't have the money. I'm scared. My family's here, which is very reasonable. So I really get into nitty gritty because I studied psychology. I'm very psychological, and I will look into everything on a very intuitive, psychological, deep level, which is very important. And then from there on, so I'll talk about your fears. We'll talk about, like what you've been doing like on your own to try to help you move abroad. I've been looking at TikTok, nothing's working, I'm overwhelmed, blah, blah, blah. And then I get into an actual plan. So I also talk about, what do you want? Do you want to like work remotely? Do you want to like study abroad? Do you want to do a bachelor's, master's, PhD? So I really get into like your situation. And then from there on, what we do, we have a second call and I go over like my program and I go over like my prices. And because the people here are listening, you actually get a special discount from me. So you guys
that's amazing. Let's give it up. All right. Follow her, guys.
Yeah, of course. So you guys will get a special discount from me because I really like, Heaven, I like Heaven, how she's like really putting people out there who want to help people learn how to live life in alignment. And when you leave an environment that is no longer for you, you realize, fuck, it was never me. It was my environment. And that's it, It's the people you're around, people you surround yourself, etc. So yeah, so I really just focus like the nitty gritty, just like, your emotions. Because the most important thing is I will focus on the fear, the overwhelm, the hesitations, and just like the overthinking kind of like, like mindset, which I get it. It's normal. And then from there on, I will help you come up with a plan with me and my Move Abroad team, and we will help you be able to move abroad. I focus on a lot of stuff. I focus on helping you budget your money. So I will help you budget your money to save abroad. I will help you keep track of your expenses to move abroad because you have one plan in mind. You got to move abroad. Then I also focus on, visas, application, background check, apostille. I also help you find an apartment. I do translation between English and Spanish. I help you, find the best fit places for you and your family so you guys have a good fit. I also focus on integration, adaptation, language learning, putting yourself out there, meeting people. But the most important thing, making sure that you feel confident and you feel emotionally prepared and ready. That's it.
That's right. That's amazing. That is amazing. Guys, we're going to take 5 minutes. We're going to take 5 minutes to just answer any questions that you all didn't have a chance.
She's funny. Yeah,
I love me some Galaxy. Yes.
I love Galaxy. She's my universe, girl. 111. You know it.
All right, guys, put your final questions in the chat for Miss Wanderful Abroad. While you do that, I just want you all to know up here, I don't know if you all could see it, but you could follow her. Please give her a follow. And the consultation, I'm assuming it's free, or I don't know if there's a small fee associated.
Yeah. No, it's fine. So I have 2 consultations. So the first one is free. The second one is free because the second one I focus on my prices. So what I do a monthly plan, which is actually really affordable for people. Bless you. It's very affordable for people because you guys, I know what it was like before moving abroad. I worked 3 part-time jobs. I was hustling, hustling, you know? So I know I grew up poor, I grew up with an immigrant mother who just tried to put food on the table for us. So I grew up in a mindset where like it was a very like a stricken mindset. But I said, I want to be able to help people because I know what it's like to be able to suffer. I know what it's like to be able to like, you know, come from a single parent household with like little money, or my dad was a blues musician. And I saw my father struggle every single day, making maybe $90 a day or something, asking for tips at a blues club, you know? So I know what it's like. And I know, you know, this, I know the pressure, I know the pain, I know the struggle. So I want to be able to help people because it's not about the money. It's impact. It's impact and it's change. It's living life in alignment. 111. And that's it.
Okay.
And
All right, guys.
I just have goosebumps right now because I feel like my dad's here right now. I feel it, you know? Oh, and also, by the way, I do tarot. I focus on tarot and oracle. So I don't know how it is, but that's all. Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Someone's question is how long does a non-lucrative visa last?
Yeah, that's a great question. So non-lucrative visa goes for a year, but the best part is when you're in Spain, you're also able to renew as it is. So it goes for 5 years. And after that, you're able to stay in Spain. Thank you so much, Kingdom. I'm going to actually add you if that's okay. I want to add all your people here, the babies. I love them.
No, it's okay. Thank you. So any more questions? I think that's one. Is there anything that come to mind that we did not touch or that I didn't ask?
Yeah. And also,
I'm sorry.
Thank you so much.
So what are
And
some
also,
common mistakes? Wait, hold on for just a second. So what are some common mistakes expats have or your clients have made while living in Spain?
So I would say some common mistakes is like language learning, like not learning the language, even though I have a Spanish teacher that they can be able to talk to and whatnot. And really just taking in a way, like their American mindset and like the mentality and the attitude. And they're taking it to Spain where they're like not really being open to like, you know, meeting the people, learning the language, learning the culture. So I tell everybody, I'm a Rose too as well, but I tell everybody, like when you move abroad, open up the mind as it is. And you have to be able to be open-minded, learn the language, talk to the people, and put yourself out there. So when you put yourself out there, you make friends, you date, you make your own business, you make your own events, etc. And before I started my business, by the way, which is called Wanderful Abroad, my name is Nicole. But before I started my business, I put myself out there living in South Korea. And it was during COVID and I made a bunch of like social events to like meet people, etc. So you have to put yourself out there. When you put yourself out there, the universe is receptive and it will give you what you need in your life. That's it.
So I didn't ask anything about, so what about social norms and expectations, giving gifts, greetings, etc.?
Yeah. So for sure. So that's good. So when you move to Spain, when you meet somebody like a Spanish person, Colombian, whatever, you have to give that person 2 kisses on the cheek. A la derecha y izquierda, like right and left. So when you meet someone, you just like this. That's it. So in Mexico, it's 1 kiss. Colombia, un beso, 1 kiss. Argentina, 1 kiss too as well. Poland, 2 kisses. So I'm used to it. But United States, we don't kiss. We're like, what the fuck are you doing, motherfucker?
No. So we don't kiss. So French is so the social norms, you kiss to both cheeks, right? For Spain.
Yeah. So like in Spain, if you don't kiss, they're gonna be like, well, this person's not from here. So you have to be able to be open. So when you meet someone, you just kiss them on the cheek, and that's it. You know. So you have to kiss them on the cheek, and just like this, that's it. It doesn't matter if you have a husband, boyfriend, it doesn't matter. And Belgium, it's 3. Yes, that's very true. That's very true, Kevin. You're right. So yeah, you're right. It's just more so like to be able to be open is kissing on the cheek, saying gracias, buenas, because here they say buenas, which means just like, good morning. And in Mexico, buenos dias, in Colombia, buenos dias, but here it's buenas. Buenas is like good morning. And then from there, I know just, being able to just be like very polite, being very kind, respectful, and that's it, really. Yep.
Okay. Any more questions in the chat, guys? We don't want to hold up Nicole's time.
Mark, you're not going to catch anything at all. You're not catching cooties, boo-boo. Come on. Tú eres algo así. He is so funny. No, he's giving kisses to the cheek, not lips, silly. No labio.
That's amazing. So if there are no more questions, obviously they can't reach out to you via DM. Guys, please follow her. She was amazing, guys. If you have any questions, please follow her. If you do want to follow, I'm sorry, I just lost my train of thought here. If you do want to talk a little bit more about Spain, please reach out and she could definitely guide you from there. Guys, give it up for Nicole. This was amazing. I really appreciate you. Let me use this one still. Let me just use this one.
I'm going to add to
yes. Oh, we have a question? Okay.
So I like that question. Oh, sorry. Can you take a scouting trip on a tourist visa? Yes, you can. So you can go from the States to Spain on an actual American passport, which is valid. So make sure that your passport is valid as 6 months to 1 year. Like make sure you're not going on an expired passport because it'd be very difficult to be able to leave the States and move to Spain. So yeah, you could just go visit, Spain, check it out. Actually, next year I will be doing scouting trips in Poland because that's where my family is. Poland, Spain, Portugal, etc. because I already have connections there. So I just want to say something too as well for the people who came in. I'm not an immigration attorney. I'm not an immigration lawyer. I'm not a lawyer attorney, but I do work with a lot of them here in Spain. And in case for your situation, I would just take your case. We'd work together. We'd evaluate something. So I do focus on, yes, budgeting, helping you save your money to move abroad, helping you really like manifest the dream life. So envisioning your life when you wake up. How do you feel? Do you feel angry? Do you feel happy? Do you feel nervous, etc.? The minute you wake up is the way that your life is going to be able to go and the rest of your day, etc. And then from there on, we just talk about, like your emotions, your fears, like what's keeping you stuck. Then we do the visa application process. I help you find like part-time remote work. And I help you like find the best fit jobs. I go over your CV, aka resume. I help you just with every single step of the process. Everything you can imagine, I do it. Exactly.
I didn't ask about entertainment.
Yeah. Entertainment. So for me, I go to language exchanges, Spanish. I don't have a TV. I hate TV. I think it's a waste of my time. I just use like my computer or whatever. There's a lot of social events through meetup.com. So there's a lot of like free events you guys can go to. On Sunday, I go to yoga for an hour and I go to meditation too as well. So I do a lot of free events, language exchanges. I'm doing a pottery. I paid $25 for my pottery class for 2 hours. Yeah. There's a lot of fun things to do. And it's actually very easy to meet people and date. The dating culture here is amazing. I'm never dating United States of America ever again. I'm done. Done. Hecho. Done.
Awesome.
Done.
Sure. We do have our final question here. How long can you stay on a tourist with just a U.S. passport? 90 days.
90 days. Yeah, that's it. Fuck America. I'm never doing United States of America. I had the worst experience ever. It's too transactional. It's too focused on me, my job. Here in Spain or just like in Latin America or anything in Mexico, it's just like, it's collective. It's like con mucho cariño. Like it's like more care, more love, not just like, oh, what can you do for me? No, it's beneficial, my friend. Two-way street. Thank you.
That's right.
Maybe my experience in Chicago, but I'm like, no, I'm done. Never again. Thank you. I like that. Mark knows. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. I'm actually going to wrap up and get back to work. I appreciate, but thank you so much. This was a wealth of information. This was great. Of course. Now, I don't know if I'm going to put you down. I'm going to be on the big screen. I'm going to tell everyone. And by the way, they showed you some love. You have over 1,000 coins. Yes, that's the type of people we have. I know.
Oh my God, thank you. Sorry, everybody.
Yep. I know. We show love around here. We're very appreciative. We did have a really good, don't cry. It's okay. It's okay. That's how we show.
It's tears of happiness. That's why.
Tears of
joy. Exactly.
That's amazing. That's amazing. All right. Well, thank you so much. I'm going to put you down and I'm just going to tell my followers a quick goodbye. And that's it.
Okay, sounds good. If you have any questions, they could just DM me on TikTok. I have a website too as well. So they could just like go on my website, schedule a call, etc. But I am willing to help people because I've helped people too. I also help my clients save $25,000 by budgeting and move to Spain. I'm telling you.
Oh, wow. That's phenomenal. Yep, that's great. Exactly. That's great. Yep. All right, honey. Thank you so much.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much. Take care. Adios. Right, gracias por todo. Mucho gusto. Ciao. Gracias.
Okay. Thank you guys. My God, wasn't she amazing? That was so that was very informative, guys. Very, very informative. I learned a lot today. I know we've trickled down from, having 35 people in the chat. Now we're down to 14. I'm assuming, they've received all of so good, right, Mark? Absolutely. I'm sure everyone got the information they need now. You all know who she is, right? Let me pin her. Wonderful. Are you still in here? Nicole, are you still in here so I could pin you so that people could start following you? Let me see if I can find her here. Just want to make sure that everyone had the opportunity to follow her. As you heard, she is not an attorney. This is just a relocation business that she does. She does help Americans. Oh, I should have asked if she helps Canadians and people from African countries. I should have asked that as well. Of course, you're very welcome. You're very, very welcome. Now, our guest speaker tomorrow, so our next guest speaker will be on Monday. He will talk about, you guys seen Jay, right? Jay was the one that presented all things Panama. He gave us a raw, unfiltered, perspective as while living in Panama. He's also going to present on Monday all things Colombia. And next Thursday, we will have all things Portugal. Unfortunately, we had to reschedule tomorrow's guest speaker. But then that just gives me more time. We'll have your back soon. Oh, thank you, Mark. So without further ado, I have a meeting to get to in 3 minutes. So thank you all for stopping by. And until next time, take care and be kind to yourself and others. Bye.